20 years ago, the general public did not have much interest in the emotion cognition abilities of patients with traumatic brain injury. Many thought these were but small hurdles the patients experienced during their treatment that was brought about by changes in their mental states. A study conducted in 2012 showed that there are 54 to 60 million TBI patients around the world every year, with 2.2 to 3.6 million of them suffering from medium to heavy brain damage. In recent years, as science has progressed, we have been able to monitor the changes in the physical stats of TBI patients through the use of advanced equipment. We have thus discovered that emotional changes, a cognitive function in traditional psychology, may occur due to physical changes in the brain. And therefore, following this train of thought, we further investigated the mechanism causing changes in the emotion cognition of TBI patients. According to the results of our study, we've come up with intervention strategies for the post-trauma emotion cognition of TBI patients. Patients with TBI can also become anxious as their conditions continue, and their anxiety may aggravate other cognitive impairments. For example, they may find it harder to recognize emotions. Compared to positive emotions, TBI patients have a harder time identifying negative emotions, such as anger, fear, and sadness. Next, I will introduce the data of the 25 participants in the study. So no surprise birthday gift this year. You mean I can choose to do whatever I want today? If there are a lot of things I want to do today, would that be too much trouble? What if there are so many things I want to do that we can't finish them today? In that case, can I choose to have an unhappy birthday? I have a special place in mind, but it's kind of far away. Mind taking a walk with me? Let's sit there for a bit. There used to be one of those old cottages here. You know the kind. This particular house had walls made of mottled white brick, and the roof had red shingles. It was halfway uphill, so the winds could be pretty strong. On special occasions, a row of small blue and white flags would be hung on the eaves. They looked lovely from the garden, flapping in the wind. If you pushed open the gate, you'd enter the garden. Yes, there was a small row of flower beds to the left. The owners were busy, though, and would often forget to water the flowers. So the flowers didn't look that healthy. The door to the house would sometimes creak when you opened it. You'd come across an ordinary foyer. Which direction would you like to go in? The kitchen was on the left side. It was a bit small, but had all the silverware you'd ever need. Really shiny ones, too, because they hadn't been used much. Well, everyone's good at different things. I did everything exactly like the recipe said. Why does it still taste so weird? She would always say that. Still, she was always busy, so there wasn't a lot of time for her to dedicate to culinary research. Yes. Delicious. On the right side was the living room, though it was filled with bookshelves. There was a study, but there were way too many books in the house to fit in there, so some were relocated to the living room. In the center of the room was a comfy couch. In autumn, the sunlight would shine through the French windows, illuminating it just right. Across the couch was an expensive stereo set. The little boy's father bought it especially so that he could enjoy some classical music. Actually, the most comfortable place in the room was the rocking chair next to the French window. For the little boy living in the house, the rocking chair was the perfect size. When he dozed off while reading, he could easily curl up on the chair and take a nap. And when the weather was nice, the rocking chair would gently sway along with the wind. Up ahead was the dining room. It was slightly bigger than the kitchen, barely decorated. No one drank in the household, so there was no need for a bar counter. There was just a small dining table and 3 chairs. They didn't make it a rule, but the parents tried their best to do so. Whenever they came back from a business trip, the boy's parents would always make him a delicious dinner. There was a staircase with creaky stairs across the living room. Take those stairs and you'd find yourself in a small family room. Unfortunately, you're right. I may have remembered wrong. Perhaps this wasn't a home, it was a bookstore. The little boy's parents did try to make the rooms functional, though. It's just that the family room was closer to the study, so if you got tired of reading in the study, you could come right out of it into the family room and read there instead. You could read downstairs in the living room. To the left of the family room was a long corridor. The first room there was a master bedroom, and there were 2 rooms at the end of the corridor. To the right was the study. It was filled with scientific materials and books full of jargon. The little boy could barely understand any of the words in the books and needed 2 large dictionaries to help him make sense of each page. He probably understood all of it when he was around 16 or 17. That was the little boy's room. No, there were no books in the little boy's room. His parents didn't want him to read non-stop, so they didn't allow him to bring books into his bedroom. Well, there were two under the pillow. It was an ordinary small bedroom, with a bed, a closet, a small desk. Playing board games, such as Kongming chess, elephant chess, element cards. There was something else that made it special. Keep your eyes closed. There was a balcony in the little boy's room. Open your eyes. The balcony in the boys' room was the best place to appreciate the scenery in the area. On spring nights, fireflies would appear in the hills, like a secret rendezvous in the woods. In summer, the streets were always crowded. Elderly people would play chess by the road, and the kids would play kickball or sneak away to set off fireworks from the observation platform on the hill. In autumn, there would be the most delightful pitter-pattering of raindrops on the leaves. The whole world was wet and misty and pleasant. It rarely snowed in winter. Even if it did, only tiny snowflakes came drifting down. The boy would often imagine how the mountain would look, covered in snow. The little boy's father told him that this world is very big and full of secrets. You will encounter them, he told the boy, and you will enjoy them. Sorry for making you go through all this nonsense with me today. Why do you ask? What do you think about your childhood self then? You have. You're definitely the kind of person she'd have wanted to become. If I saw my childhood self, I'm not sure how I'd feel. He knew very little back then, so he thought there was an answer for everything. Even joy, sadness, despair, and even love. He seems very far away from me. Am I? What do you mean? Okay. I know what I'm wishing for this year. I wasn't just making wishes. I had things to tell them. I didn't expect you to have all that stuff secretly stashed in your backpack. Thanks for the hard work. Only 60. There are 365 days in a year, though. Thank you. To me, you are more than colorful.